Working with Escala partners on the branding and naming of the business has been one of the most interesting processes we've been involved in over many years. To be able to take an existing industry and look at trying to reinterpret it and provide a point of difference has been the real key. When we sat down with the partners through numerous workshops, we really defined that the point of difference for Escala was going to be their commitment to the client. We were able to set up a series of guiding principles for the Escala brand, and they were based around a relationship of trust, a history of success, a passion for excellence, a wealth of knowledge, and a culture of partnership. And they have become the core elements that the brand has then developed itself on. The name Escala, derived from the Spanish escalera, literally means ladder. The ladder is representative of both growth and journey, but is only as strong as the rungs that hold it together.
When we began work on this project, a big part of the briefing process for us was going through the brand document that had already been highly developed and resolved between Escala partners and Designed by Pigeon, who had been developing that brand vision. And so what that meant was that we had a lot of information to draw from in terms of what this business was really trying to be and say. And so we got excited right from the outset about the opportunity for the space to communicate that in a really convincing way, but also in the way that spaces do, in a slightly more subliminal way to maybe the way that visual branding might work. So that airtight seal that typically happens between front of house and back of house, so client facing spaces and work zone, normally that's quite a clean break and an almost airtight seal, and we were really interested in trying to break that down so that clients felt more welcome and that staff felt much more connected to the people for whom they were working. There's a really social environment that's been established, and it feels like conversations can be had very easily between staff with each other, staff and clients who might bump into someone that they know. And in each of those scenarios it feels appropriate because we've tried to really dispel that sterility that you'd normally expect from a commercial space.
My involvement with this project came initially from a brief from the graphic designer, David, who articulated his process, but he engaged me to do a series of portraits that would express and quite literally be the face of the brand, and literally the face by being portraits of the partners and key staff that work here. So my approach to the photography was to look at it from the perspective of the client. And that's not just to simply take a headshot of the key personnel in the office, but to actually engage them in a conversation so that their personality and their conviction came across to the client.
What are the qualities of the organisation that make them better, that make them interesting, that make them distinctive, that we can communicate to clients and to people? And with Escala, it was actually quite a simple process because they are highly empathetic, they're experts, they have great understanding of the long term, and also a deep passion and interest in people. So what has been really quite wonderful about this whole process is it's been this logical progression from defining what makes them what they are, and finally turning that into an ad campaign and turning that into a digital and content strategy that means that clients can benefit every day through having these stories told of generational wealth.